The production of fashion-forward electric truck Cybertruck is slated to kick off by year's end. The latest data show that Cybertruck pre-orders have exceeded 1 million units, with dual-motor and tri-motor versions accounting for the bulk of the pre-orders, while the cheapest entry-level version accounts for only 7%. 1 week after Tesla unveiled Cybertruck in 2019, Elon Musk announced that pre-orders surpassed 250,000 units. Generally speaking, pre-order volume dips as time passes, but not this time. Even throughout the pandemic-afflicted 2020, Tesla still received pre-orders for Cybertruck on a weekly basis. Certain geographic regions even saw weekly volumes in the hundreds. Although Tesla has not been officially keeping tabs on the latest pre-order volumes, pre-orders for Cybertruck surpassed 500,000 units in 1H20 alone, according to data kept by social media users. As Cybertrucks make appearances in New York streets and Texan factories, the tallies have not stopped. At the moment, total pre-orders have surpassed 1 million units. First of all, it should be noted that the volume of pre-orders at the time of writing has reached about 1.084 million units. Given that each pre-order costs about $100, Tesla has by now received about $100 million in pre-order fees. Although these pre-orders are cancelable and fully refundable, should all of these transactions proceed as planned, the ensuing Cybertruck orders will add about $62.9 billion to Tesla's coffers. Even if only about 40% of the pre-orders go through, Cybertruck orders can still generate about $25 billion in revenue for Tesla in the next 3 years. Remarkably, the entry-level model, which costs a very modest $39,900, has generated the least pre-orders. Data show that the single-motor entry-level model accounts for only 7.5% of all pre-orders. 3 implications can be drawn from this. First, despite its very fashion-forward styling, the enormous physical size of the truck means that single-motor models have relatively low torque and driving range. Regardless of the low price tag, single-motor models are perhaps impractical for most. Secondly, although dual-motor and tri-motor versions are relatively more expensive, they far surpass most pickups on the market in terms of performance. Compared to the high-end Ford F-150, Cybertruck has similar retail prices and max load, but the latter's acceleration rivals even sports cars. Thirdly, it should be pointed out that pre-orders are fully refundable, making them especially attractive to those with even a passing interest in owning one. Further, there is little point in pre-ordering the least powerful version, if even the most powerful model can be pre-ordered risk-free. Tesla expects to kick off production of Cybertruck in Texas at the end of this year. Should everything proceed as planned, the first batch of pre-orders will be fulfilled in 2022. At that time, however, an increasing number of competitors in the electric truck space will emerge. For instance, Ford has already announced the upcoming release of its battery electric truck F-150 Lighting, and the automaker received more than 50,000 pre-orders in 2 days. Cybertruck will face competition from both Ford and GE, making this a battle between tradition and innovation. From the perspective of pre-orders, Tesla no doubt has the high ground, although the true victory will not be determined until 2Q22. Elon Musk took to Twitter to congratulate his Ford counterpart, Jim Farley, for the 44,500 reservations the F-150 Lightning all-electric pickup truck received during the first 48 hours since its reveal. Musk's reply read a very dry congrats, leaving any interpretation up for debate. Some will say he was honest, others he was sarcastic, while most people will simply consider it as the sort of professional courtesy we should really see more of in the industry. After all, these companies are competitors, rivals, not enemies. Knowing what we know now, Musk's gesture starts to resemble the kind of petting on your head you got from your parents when you first learned to tie your. Yet, at the end of the day, it's something nobody can actually predict. The document also tracks the reservations by trim level, meaning it can offer an average cost for all the Cybertruck deposits made so far. That figure is $58,053, and if you multiply that by the total number of reservations, you get a revenue figure of nearly $63 billion, all money potentially going into Tesla's coffers. However, before getting too excited for Tesla, there are a few things worth considering. Many people have made several reservations, at least one made even hundreds of them, because it's just a $100 fully refundable deposit, so why not? By making one, you are essentially locking the price at the level it was at the time of the reservation, and while that might not seem like much, just look at Tesla's one-way yo-yoing, with the price of the Model 3 and Model Y besides. Many potential customers also opted for the full self-driving, FSD, package, also acquired at a lower price than what it costs now and even lower than what it might end up costing in the future. Finally, making a reservation meant you secured your place in line for what will most likely become a very hot commodity. Can you see the first Cybertruck selling for more to people further down the line? We sure can. Pickup truck are the best-selling vehicle in the United States, and Ford F-Series sold more than 800,000 units alone in 2020. Thanks for watching.